to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It is September, so we're going to call the meeting to order, and we're going to open the floor for nominations. We have to nominate and approve a board chairman and a board vice chairman for the upcoming year. Nominate Mr. Henderson.
I second.
So, first, I only have to do this once a year. Nomination made by Ms. Ayler to nominate Mr. Henderson and seconded by Brad Pope. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Thank you for your support, or lack of wanting to be chairman. I don't know which one it is. Pray someone will nominate you first, but I do appreciate the confidence you place in me. At this time, we will entertain nominations for vice chairman.
Motion to nominate Kenny Atkins.
Motion made by Mr. Ross to nominate Kenny Atkins.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Aver. Any more nominations? If not, all in favor of Mr. Atkins being vice chairman, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, at this time, before we vote on our agenda, we need to vote actually on an amendment to the agenda. The audit report is still embargoed, so it will not be ready for tonight. So I'll entertain a motion to remove item number 7, the audit report, from our agenda. Motion made by Ms. Ayler.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Atkins. Mr. Atkins can't get used to it, at least people move around on me. Okay. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We will go ahead and approve the agenda now.
To make that motion.
Motion made by Ms. Carter.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Ross. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And we have our consent agenda. The only thing we have in there this month is our minutes from the August 8th meeting, so I'll entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Atkins.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Ayler. Of course, there is no discussion on the consent agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next is our stakeholder recognition, and who better to recognize our board members that have gone off this last month. And we have a distinguished guest here tonight, General Ross, who was our Director of Schools from 2012, if I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 2021, correct?
That's right.
Okay. Mr. Ross, it is a pleasure to have you back with us tonight, and at this time I'm going to turn it over to you to recognize the board members that were actually your boss for several years.
Yeah, so apologize for missing the last 33 board meetings. No, I asked the director and the chairman, talked to them, and I'm appreciative of the opportunity to come and recognize 3 board members that are retiring. I get to see a whole lot of stuff. I still try to keep up with school business. My Google feed still feeds me a lot of stuff about schools. I live in Nashville, but I'm really close to probably the wealthiest school district in the state, in Williamson County. And I'll tell you, money doesn't mean everything. I knew it when I was here, and it just gets reaffirmed when I'm up there that I wouldn't trade our team and our schools and our kids and our community for anything. I don't matter how much money comes with it. So, Mr. Ford, congratulations to you. Mr. Davis, congratulations to you. Brad, Mr. Polk, a legacy family for our schools here, and Stacy, congratulations to you. To the rest of the board members that I did work for, Becky and I are certainly appreciative of the opportunity to be back down here. A little selfish part, would have liked to have been here last August. I know that was the last board meeting for Mr. King, Ms. Bodiford, and Reverend Crisp, but I was up in Vermont with some of our soldiers that day that were competing on a national level in some competition. So I just couldn't get here, and I thought if I don't get to another board meeting, and if I could get them here to a board meeting, that stands the most chance of me saying thank you again. Especially to these three, but to every one of you that I work for. I've got 2 soldiers in my formation of 13,000 that are superintendents. And we have some quite interesting conversations from time to time. But I'm thankful for what I had, for the opportunity that I had here in my hometown to work, and for the people that I work for and work with. So, all right, so that's kind of that. For Mr. King and Ms. Botiford, if y'all stand up here, and Reverend Chris, I got a little note here for you. You can read that. It's at your leisure. Maybe some nighttime reading for you, but it's not that long. It's not that long of a note. But what I've got here to give you is a challenge point. So some of you may have, I think I passed out 194th Brigade level challenge coins when I was a colonel. So these are Adjutant General challenge coins, and they're mine in particular. There's 54 Adjutant Generals across the country, 50 states, 4 territories, and we all have our own designed coin. So what mine represents on the back here is there's a bunch of patches here, and those are 5 Army, A-R-M-Y, brigades, and those are 3 Air National Guard wings. That represents about 13,500 soldiers that are under the Tennessee National Guard. It has our values on here: respect, service, honor, duty, loyalty, integrity, and courage. And then on the other side, it's got our logo, which says ready now. And there's just a ton of implied tasks that go into trying to live up to being ready when our citizens, our country, got a call at 2:30 this morning for a person in the Appalachian Mountains that had fallen in a ravine, broke his arm. And we routinely pull people out with our helicopters when they're in life and limb eyesight. That happens probably 3 or 4 times a month. But you know, whether it's that, whether it's the floods in Dixon and Waverly or the southwest border, to be ready now means a lot to us. It takes a lot. And then at the bottom, there's a Bible verse here. It's Isaiah 6:8. Now the government actually subsidizes me to have these coins. How we were able to get a Bible verse on a government piece of property remains a mystery to a lot of people, including my cohorts across the 54. But it's on there, and Isaiah 6:8 said, and the Lord said, whom shall I send? And we like to say in the Tennessee National Guard, send us. And I think you all represent every value that we stand for here. You were faithful to this school board. You were faithful to me. I appreciate your patience when I was a new superintendent and when I was an older superintendent. None of us are without flaws, me certainly, but you worked right along with me. It was a pleasure to work with all 3 of you, and our community will miss you. I hope you don't go far. And I do apologize to bringing to yet one more board meeting. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you a lot. And I appreciate every one of y'all for serving. It can be a very difficult job, but your community needs you.
Yeah, can I get a picture of y'all?
Yeah, I know you. Congratulations to you, just keep at it.
You want a picture of
Kenny, I'm gonna see you. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll take a picture with you anyway. If somebody.
I'd just like to say before we take a picture, this is an honor. I appreciate it. I have so much respect for Mr. Ross, General Ross now.
I'm at home, it's just nothing.
But I have so much respect for him. He's so thoughtful and always thinks of others. So I appreciate it so much.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. Thank you all.
Thank you.
We're headed back now. Hold on. We got them. I've got some set aside, I promise you. Yeah.
I
want to get a picture of you and I can so all can see it.
Well, sure, you got a phone or you got
I got a
a,
phone.
all right. If they don't mind, I don't mind. We're on their time again now.
She wants a picture.
You're not on the agenda, Ms. Bonifer.
Has that ever bothered
Somebody come in and get it.
you? Becky, come and talk to you.
It's all right.
It doesn't matter.
Sure. Thank you all. Take care of yourself.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
She's not.
Okay, come on, come on. We got it. Take care of the business. Thank you all.
I gotta get you home.
Hey, Ms. Beverly.
Ms. Bottom.
Your coin.
I'll take it. Give it home.
You got stuff on the table.
You're welcome.
Okay, next we're gonna do our next, this on declaration. I'm gonna read the declaration and we will do a roll call vote and just, read to it. Even if you have somebody or even if you don't have somebody, just go ahead and read to it, that you will go by this declaration. Because I have relatives who are employed by the Hardeman County Board of Education, I may be considered as having a personal interest that affects or that would leave a reasonable person to infer that it affects my vote on the matter currently before the board in compliance with Tennessee Public Chapter number 301 and Hardeman County Board of Education Policy 1.108. I declare that my argument and my vote answers only to my conscience and to my obligation to my constituents and citizens this body represents. I certify that my vote shall be in the best interest of the school.
Ford,
It's just a yes or no. Yes.
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Atkins,
Yes.
Ayler,
Yes.
Carter. Yes. Swift,
Yes.
Pope,
Yes.
Henderson.
Yes. Okay, thank you. That keeps everybody from having to read that declaration themselves. Okay, and we did remove the audit report. At this time, it's review of the school support organizations. Dr. Smith?
This is just something we need to do each year annually. We don't have to vote on it. I just want to make you aware of the current and active school support organizations that we have on file at this time. Those are Bolivar Elementary PTO, Bolivar Central High School Quarterback Club, Hornsby, Middleton, and Tune PTOs, and the Tiger Den Quarterback Club at Middleton High School.
And if you do know of any that are actually acting as an organization, it might be best for them to get in compliance and get in contact with the central office. Okay, you want to go ahead and take the policy, page 4.700.
Policy 4.700 is regarding testing programs. It was actually updated about 2 years ago. It is TSBA model policy, but we had that career aptitude assessments would be administered in 7th grade. They're required to be administered in either 6th, 7th, or 8th, so you can choose. We had it in 7th, and due to some other changes that was made, we decided to move that to 8th. So all this policy change does is make our career aptitude assessment go from 7th grade to 8th grade. And career aptitude is just one of, we actually use science. They take a little assessment that looks at things that they like, things that they like to do, the way they learn, and it kind of creates job fields for them. So it could say this child may be interested in nursing, this child may be interested more in law enforcement, things like that. So that's what a career aptitude assessment is. And all this does is change 7th grade to 8th grade.
And if nobody has a problem with it, we can just consider this the first and second reading. So I'll entertain a motion we approve policy 4.7?
She'll make that motion.
Motion made by Ms. Carter,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Davis. Any discussion or questions about it? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We don't have any more policies. At this time, we had two committees that met this month, the insurance committee, and, do we have?
I need to do the school-based nomination.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Each year, we have to approve the school-based committees of the disciplinary hearing authority, differentiated pay, textbook, and complaint bullying managers. These are committees that are required by law to have in place at each school, and we just need to have these approved. So it would be approving DHA, diff pay, textbook, and complaint managers. And I have written your complaint managers in on those bottom two.
I make the motion to approve all four committee designees.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Atkins to approve the committee nominations.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Swift. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And before we go to the insurance committee, I will be appointing the committees next month. Some of them will stay the same, and of course, some of them will have to change. If you have a preference of a committee you feel like you would benefit by being on, let me know, and if at all possible, and we can work it out. I'll be glad to try to do that. So, we actually have the insurance committee, the budget committee, and the nominating committee, which, not the nominating committee, but the, director evaluation of the director of schools. So, those three committees, and sometimes we have a committee that we just, introduce just for a certain period of time. But, just keep that in mind. If there is a committee you would like to be on. Okay, at this time, I'll turn it over to Ms. Carter and the insurance committee.
And I, request that, Jennifer and Brad jump in if they feel they need to. The insurance committee met twice. It was, a very lengthy process for us. We took it very serious. And after lengthy discussions, the committee made a decision to cover 100% of the rate increase for the upcoming year. That's only the rate increase, not the total premium, okay? And, the average increase for 2025 was 5.9%. If we did not, absorb the 100% of the premium, we had approximately 100 employees that would get less money in their paycheck. And after all of that consideration, and like I said, the committee met 2 different times to go over this. When it had concerns, we wanted to think about it and discuss it the second time. And we voted 100%, a vote for the board to absorb 100% of the 2025 rate increase. What that does, if our numbers are correct, and we cannot know until the employees make their choices, but with our numbers that we were provided with, we would need to pull about $119,000 out of fund balance to cover that. You know, like I said, it could fluctuate based on the choices that the employees make when they make their insurance choices. But the committee recommends that the board approve 100% of the 2025 health insurance premium increase. And this also will give us a little advantage when we're trying to seek new employees.
That does come as a recommendation from the insurance committee, so, I'll entertain a second. I'll second it. Okay, any discussion or questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Is there anything else, Ms. Cole?
That was it.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, the budget committee met yesterday at lunch, and turn it over to Mr. Atkins.
All right, on the first budget, we have several budgets that I need to tell you about. First one is the 141, that is the innovative schools model budget. And as Christie said in our work session, this has 2 more years left in this budget. The budget is that is remaining is $2,249,000. Expenditures will include middle college advisor, the STEM position, career advisors at each high school. There'll be one at each high school, a new career advisor, technology and communications and innovation coordinator. This will also be improving the libraries. There will be textbook supplies and other things for career tech, and then also some PD. So that is a budget. All right, the next one is the 142. Lisa thought she was finished with Esther, but it popped back up again. So it's some carryover money. It's some money that I think that maybe the other schools didn't utilize, so they redistributed it to some of us. So the 24, this budget is for $127,000. $24,000 of that will be used for laptops, tables and chairs, for various instructional areas. It also will allow us to allocate a certain percentage of this, which will be $102, to repay the district back for a school bus that we purchased. So that's where that money will be spent, and hopefully that will be the last one. Never say never, but hopefully it will be. So the next one is the Perkins budget. It's Fund 142. This budget is for $86,000, and it will be technical equipment and supplies in the classroom, and it will be one of the things that they're buying is two new welders at the ag shop for both high schools. This also will help provide hopefully some transportation costs when these students go to state competitions. It can cost up to $10,000 to send one group of students to a competition now, just due to the rising cost of everything. The next budget that I will discuss is budget 142, and it is the school to work budget, and this will help. It's a rehabilitation grant that helps children transition from school to work. Is primarily for students with disabilities. This grant covers the cost of a person or employee helping that student apply for jobs, complete applications, go to interviews, and that sort of thing. That grant is for $309,000. That is the budgets. We also have 2 budget amendments, and the first one is the general purpose amendment budget 141, Fund 141, and this is where we received $40,000 for hail damage, and this will be utilized to purchase a couple vehicles. I don't know if y'all noticed that we're still using a Taurus that I think is probably 30 years old or so. So that hopefully they can buy a couple used vehicles for $20,000 a piece, or $25,000 a piece. But we got quite a bit of money in hail damage on all of our vehicles that they had at the board, and those have all been fixed. We did buy back 4 vehicles, 2 Rogues and 2 Equinoxes that have been damaged. So we bought those back. The last one that I'll discuss is 141 general purpose, but this deals with the comprehensive coordinated early intervening services. And what that is we, as I think probably most school systems out there, were disappropriately disciplining certain subgroups of students. And we have been working on this several years, and trying to follow the mandate, but trying to also change what's happening in our school system. But this money will be transferred out of the IDA federal dollars. The funds will be used to target early intervention or identification of inappropriate behavior to help these kids in an earlier stage in life, maybe have better behavior when they're, an older student. So, but that is $160,000, which will be utilized in that area. Does anybody have any questions about any of that? I'll be more than happy to let Lisa answer them.
That comes as a recommendation from the budget committee, and I won't go over all 6 of them, but it was 4 budgets and 2 budget amendments, and they're up on the screen. Do I have a second? Second by, Mr. Ford, I'm sorry. Any discussion or question on any of those? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, at this time, I'll turn it over to Dr. Smith for her director's report.
All right, so we have the first month of school down. Several things have been going on, but first I want to present you with the organizational chart for 2024-25. I'll get you, you should have a hard copy of that, I hope. If not, we'll get one to you. Not many changes there, other than, as you know, last month we added the supervisor of communication innovation, and that is going pretty well. We have gotten two big grants that we announced about 2 weeks ago. One was a South Memphis Renewal Grant that was a partnership between the South Memphis Renewal Community Development Corporation, Haywood County, and Hardeman County. And what this grant is going to do is provide opportunities for particularly at-risk 16 to 24-year-olds, which is different from a K-12 public school system, but we're gonna try this and see how it goes, to give them more job upskilling and skills in the technology world, specifically in Microsoft app-based programs such as Excel, Word, PowerPoint, those types of things. It is a part-time program. It will be taught by someone that is certified to teach those types of programs. They will be in charge of pretty much everything from applications to choosing who's in the class. We're just providing a space for them. But that's a really, really big grant that they just announced a couple weeks ago, and once more information comes about that, we will get it to you.
Is it at Hope Street?
It will be at Hope Street. The next grant, Dr. Powell, you came on a great night. We are getting Gear Up back. We've been without it 4 years almost, I believe, and we applied about this time last year. Gear Up grants and some other grants are very lengthy in process, but we did receive word that we were one of, I believe, 8 counties in Tennessee that received this, and the only one in West Tennessee. So very exciting news for us. This runs from 2024 to 2031. It will start with, I believe, next year's 7th grade group. And what Gear Up does is it provides them opportunities for post-secondary opportunities to go see these things, to know their options, all the things we've been talking about with Future Ready in terms of we want every kid to know all their options. And we want kids to know that TCAT is college too, those types of things. Gear Up will help with this. And this time, I believe, we have not gotten complete confirmation, so I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but I think we're gonna get 3 to 4 positions out of this. Wow. Each high school this time will have their own Gear Up coordinator. So once we have that finalized and know exactly what's coming down with that, we'll get that information out to you. But this is a very exciting and wonderful opportunity for our students. Again, I told you earlier that we did receive the final payment on Hope Street project, and that is officially complete. And lots of things going on in the last month. We had parent-teacher conferences on September the 3rd. We had great parent participation from 50% to, I believe one school had almost 85. That's really great. Miss Dina has been not only having students come to her STEM center, she's also been going to them to help bridge that gap between STEM and the classroom. Parent involvement on the left there, Dr. Tan Harris is telling parents about options and opportunities they have through Title I. Tune, we did get to go to Nashville and go to the what was it called? Sapphire event, Teacher of the Year.
Excellence in Education.
It was a big ceremony where Ms. Campbell was recognized for being one of the 9 finalists in the Teacher of the Year. Homework Hotline is back alive. All of our students have access to this in the evenings from 4 to 8, and they have received information through their schools on that. We have a group up there to the right. You've heard of the escape rooms. This is called Breakout for Academics. So they kind of do escape games, but they do it through academic cards. And we've also had a lot of community involvement even since school started. That is, I believe, Centennial Bank donated school supplies. We've had some churches donate school supplies, so lots of community support. Bolivar Central High School had several students recognized for athletics. I believe we had golf, we had the clay dusters, we had a couple of other things. The FFA chapter has been recognized as a national 2-star chapter. I don't know what that means, but I was assured it was a big deal. The bottom right, last week they recognized 45 students who are considered early ready graduates. To be a ready graduate, there's 2 or 3 things, actually 4 things I think you have to do. One, you have to have a 21 on your ACT, you have to have certain EPSOs, you can have industry credentials. There's a list of ways you can do that, but to have 45 kids out of about 150 at this point in the year is a really big deal. So we're really proud of those kids for reaching that milestone. Farm Bureau has been sponsoring a Players a Week for football. And Central has started a campaign, I guess you would say, about applying for post-secondary opportunities. And they're picking staff members to tell why you should apply, whether it's for TCAT, scholarships, or college. Hornsby has gone to Lone Oaks and they're playing in the corn. It's a good time of year to be doing that. On the left, they had parent involvement night. On the bottom, again, Centennial provided school supplies to many of our schools. And as we talked about attendance in the work session, there's an example of them recognizing students. Bolivar Middle School softball is in full swing right now. The top right, those students are getting their school supplies that were donated. And there's a group, Miss Dina's STEM Center is rocking and rolling already with kids in there just about every day. So we're really excited about what's happening in that area. Bolivar Elementary, a lot of our schools this year have implemented a Star Student of the Week for different recognition purposes. They've shown there where they did. At the top right, those students are showing how big a giant sequoia actually is in diameter. They measured it, the circumference, and made their own model. And at the bottom left, we had 3 or 4 schools that have already inducted their junior beta clubs for the year. Middleton High School won a football game. That was a big deal to them. So they're celebrating. On the bottom right, that is their Boys to Men Club, where they go out and they have some mentors that come in, but they also express professionalism during the day and things like that. On the left, they're doing an experiment of growing worms. In the top right, that is TKE. They actually have come in and done some partnership things with Middleton High School. And then in the middle, that's Chesney Boo. She was selected as one of the Southwest Human Resource Agency senior leaders for this year. We have one from Middleton High School and one from Central High School. Grand Junction, I didn't put that on there. All of our schools had Grandparents' Day, good support there. At the top, they had communities and schools. They had a battle of the DJs. I'm not sure where they came up with that idea, but the kids absolutely loved it. They're having a reading night on September 16th, and there's some of the things that they did with their Family Engagement Day on Parent-Teacher Conference. We also had 2 activities that went on for multiple schools. First Responders for 8th graders was held at Bolivar Middle School. We had fire department, ambulance, National Guard, rescue squad, multiple different agencies come out to work with our 8th graders and show them what careers there are in public service and emergency response. And then the Hardeman County Extension Service and Hardeman County Agribusiness Center partnered together to hold a farm day for our 4th graders at Bolivar Elementary. This is something we've been talking about for a couple of years, and we started small this year to make sure we could pull it off and it go well. But they did it, and it was an absolute hit. They were roping cow dummies, they were shooting the bow and arrows, they were looking at cotton ginning machines, horses, sheep, you name it, they had it, and the kids absolutely had a blast. So we hope that gets expanded next year for more of our 4th graders. And our fifth graders this year, all of our fifth graders are gonna be able to go to Somerville to the Farm Bureau Farm Day, which is a huge event over there. So that's gonna be great for those students. And that is all I have in the director's report. Don't forget, we have Southwest Fall District Meeting, September 19th in Chester County. So we're gonna leave here about 3:30, 3:45.
And if you're not gonna be here and you're gonna go on your own, please let Leah know. That's it. Okay, is there any public comment from the audience? Okay. If you will-
Yes,
if
I
you will
just-
stand up and just introduce yourself and.
I'm so sorry. My name is Mary Levin, and my great nephew, he's in the 8th grade at MES, Go Tigers. I had a question for Dr. Smith. What is the policy that the board votes on? Like if kids wanna go to the football game, they don't wanna be with their aunt or their chaperone, can they be left unattended? That's my question.
There's not a policy that addresses that. Each
So-
school has their own procedures, but the board does not have a policy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion, we adjourn.
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Ross and seconded by Mr. Atkins. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, motion carries. Thank y'all.